All right, we should be live. Oh, you know what? I forgot. Where did I put? Give me 1 second. My sunglasses are somewhere. Hold on, what's that? Oh, they're right here. Let's go. Also, I need to fix this. Hope everyone is doing well. There we go. Let's hang out like this for a little bit. Astronaut, always first. I like to see it. Kind of getting used to wearing these sunglasses. I might as well keep them on, you know? Oh, man. Sweet. Smash the like button, Robocop style. What does that mean? Here's what Robocop style means. KGM Jam, hello vibes. Hello. What's up, everyone? Mr. Adrian Comics, how you guys doing? Everyone's doing well. So I'm a little, that's why I'm drinking an energy drink right now. I'm a little sluggish right now. I just finished like a 4.5 mile hike this morning. I actually missed the blade drop because of it. Actually, I queued up for the drop, but I completely forgot about it this morning, to be honest. So we'll take a look at it. It seems to be doing all right. It's still profitable, you know, if you landed it. That's what it seems like. But I haven't looked at it in the last couple hours, like how well it's actually doing in the market. We'll take a look at it here in a little bit. Let's get this going. This. Mr. Jam is thinking about selling your Robocop for 100. Want to get 2 Iron Man FA common comics. That's not a bad idea. Let's actually take a look at some things. Robocop has obviously made a big move recently because of the announcement. Oh, it doesn't have me signed in yet. Hold on, let me do that first. There we go. Okay. Robocop animated. Let's go. Yeah, this one took a big step up. This is going for like 57 gems. I'm assuming around this time was the announcement. It's funny how we started talking about Robocop and how it's like kind of not necessarily undervalued, but it's like, hey, if you like Robocop, it was around the time when the Lambo for the Countach, that was the drop when we were looking at a bunch of other collectibles, and Robocop was one of them. We're like, hey, you could buy Luke, you could buy this, you know. But it's interesting that like 2 or 3 days later after we mentioned it, they announced like the jetpack for Robocop, so that's pretty interesting. But yeah, that price really flew up. Maybe I have to zoom in a little bit more. Whoop. Yeah, that's probably a little bit easier for you guys. I mean, I mean, it's already up to 100. I do have a feeling it's going to go back down to like 70. Once the utility of Robocop is used up with like the jetpack. Because remember, you're not burning Robocop, you're burning the jetpack. So if anything, the jetpack might go up in value. But Robocop, people might use it to craft them and like... So if you have Robocop and you burn the backpack, do you get another Robocop? I think that's the take, right? You get the Robocop with the backpack. So... I don't know. We'll see how this plays out, but if this is played out like any other crafting mechanic that's ever happened before on Veve, this is going to go back down in value. We'll go lower than what it was before, maybe. It's definitely possible. I mean, it could. There might be just so much sell pressure from people that did buy in that it could really make the price go down, because over the last quite a few days, there's been a lot of purchases. I don't know. I don't remember the exact day they announced the jetpack, but I'm assuming was about 3 days ago, because there was a ton of purchases 3 and 4 days ago too. Yeah, you can see if you look down at the very bottom, there was a purchase on 2/12, then 7 days ago, then 4. So it's like before we were averaging like a sale a day, then it jumps all the way up to, you know, like 15 sales, then 10, then another 10, then like another 8 yesterday. So we'll see how it plays out. Obviously none of this is financial advice, but that's just my take. Like if you don't really care for the jetpack, or if you don't really care for the jetpack Robocop, I do have a distinct feeling that jetpack Robocop is going to be pretty cheap. It's still Robocop, but I don't know. What up, vibes? Pasternak, small dip after the pump, but seems to be holding a bit higher than before. New higher lows. You mean for a Robocop? I don't think it's going to hold this $100 price point. It might go back down to 70, maybe a bit lower, but I just don't see it like holding at 100. Me personally. Did you go for Blade? You know what? I completely forgot about the drop, to be honest. I was so busy this morning thinking about other stuff. I was on like a 4.5 mile hike this morning going around. This is the first time I've done a hike in like a very long time. I feel good, just a little tired. That's why I'm kind of pounding an energy drink right now. But no, I completely missed the drop. Let's take a look at Blade right now. Actually, let's just do it live on Veve. What's Blade doing right now? At 71. Still profitable, right? If you landed the drop, you know, you could just sell it for profit. I just completely forgot about the drop, so I didn't lose out on much. I mean, if this thing was like 150, I'm like, oh man, I missed out. But technically, if you sell it, you're really only gaining, you know, what is that? 12 gems. It's not the end of the world. What up, vibes? What's up, Rob Cooks? Thank you guys for stopping by. Mitz, what do you think of the Veve market going? What do you think of the Veve market going into the bull market 2025? It's going to do well. I think it's going to lag behind the crypto market though, right? That's what happened last time. Like crypto did really well. People were selling and flipping things. Okay, Bitcoin went up. I'm going to sell it, put it in a different coin, then sell that, put it in a different altcoin, then sell that. Like that's just how crypto traders are, from what I've heard. It's like you ride one wave. Once you feel like it's kind of at the top, you get out, you find another thing that hasn't pumped yet, you sell, you get up there, you sell it. The one thing with Veve, and part of the reason why it's hard for it to pump so well, is we actually talked about it yesterday. I don't know, I was on the Uncommon podcast with a bunch of other people, which was awesome. Which is, once you put money on Veve, it's very hard to basically, I don't want to say impossible, because obviously you can't take it out, but it's like, it's very hard to get it out. Unlike crypto, where it's like, you can buy, sell as much as you want, move it to other exchanges. It's pretty simple. But on Veve, like once you put the money in and you put it in a collectible, it's kind of hard to get it out, right? Because if you sell Blade, there's an 8.5% licensor fee. If you take that money out, there's a 10% fee that Veve applies to when you're trying to take cash out. So it's just like, I think people like want to make their crypto profits first and then find other things that are going to have like more, I don't want to say like long-term value, but like maybe collect stuff that they actually like, right? They want to take their earnings and give it to, you know, buy things they like, or get, you know, give money to content creators. That's quite frankly, like that's when I kind of made the most of my, you know, donations and stuff, is when the bull market was happening and stuff. So, but yeah, that's kind of my thing. I think the Veve market's going to do well. It's just, I think the crypto market's going to do well first, and then Vive's going to kind of follow suit on the latter half. But who knows? Maybe Disney Marvel starts advertising. That's kind of like the big key factor, is we need to get like the licensors on board, bought in, and actually start advertising Veve stuff. If not, then we'll still do well. Just we won't get as many new users as we would like. I think Jafar FA could run. Ultra rare, only $9. Key villain OG character and the most scarce in the set, making a bottleneck for completion. I actually really like that call. Let's look at Jafar right now. Jafar's a very interesting villain. Yeah, he's going for 10, basically. You can get quite a few for 10 right now. I know a lot of people aren't a huge fan of the emoji kind of very, very simplistic cartoony style, but at the end of the day, it's still first appearance, right? If we think Vive's going to be half as big as we think it is, first appearance is going to be a huge deal, right? So, no, I like that idea. Kind of makes me think. I think I own a Jafar. I think I used to own a Jafar like a long time ago. Yeah, I don't own one anymore. It would say it here, like you own one edition or something like that. I think I used to own one a long time ago, but not anymore. I do like it. It's just hard because there's so many first appearances I want to gobble up and grab. I mean, I have a small list of them right here. I actually need to update my wish list. I think I've been saying that for like 4 months. It's like I could buy Thor for cheap, right? I'm kind of waiting for him to calm down a bit. Same thing with Todd and Miles, and I think I have a Steve Rogers. Need a Luke, need an Obi-Wan. I know this is an FA Supergirl, but it's my favorite one. Iron Man, Superman, like these are all things I'm like still trying to get and accumulate. And it seems like, oh, it's only worth that much, but it's like you add it all up, it adds up pretty quickly. So not going for Robocop, higher lows for everything in the market. I think things are going to pull back. Grails have already kind of pulled back a little bit since they pumped. Like what's Walt at right now? I really like how Walt actually appears on Stacker. Like if you type in Walt on Veve, it just won't show anything. Like you have to type in partners. Show more. Yeah, it does, or I guess technically it is down here at the very bottom, but before, like you had to type in like the word partners for it to show up. Where am I going? There it is, Walt. Walt's already pulled back. Walt was at 3,400 not long ago. Now he's already back down to below 3K. Like things pumped. People are getting excited. Crypto's doing well. All this stuff. Not new exchanges, but Omi Utility, MCP, all that stuff got people very hyped in the month of February. I think things are going to cool off a little bit. And kind of as we talked about again on the podcast yesterday, which is it's not so much like a bunch of new users jumped in and we're getting it's just people are just opening up their wallets a bit more. Like I have not spent a lot of money, like legitimately in 2023 in the tail end of 2022. Like I hardly put any money in. I've put more money in to Veve, like fiat, in the last probably 4 months than I did the year and a half combined, like prior to that. So people are just finally getting excited about stuff. We might, I do agree, we might get higher lows. Like I don't think Walt's gonna pull back to like sub 2K. He could. I think it's unlikely. He might chill out between like 2.5K, maybe like 2.3, but no one really knows. That's why I know this is financial advice, but I think people have seen what the absolute bottom is, and they're like, all right, that's a good price point. That's a time to buy. I think people are going to front run it and be like, all right, before it hits 2K, I'm going to buy it at 2.3 because it could run up after the fact. Could you check if the 2 Rizzo Batman sold for the 1,500 listings, or were they just delisted? Yeah, let's take a look. Rizzo. Dude, Rizzo's got that Riz, bro. Someone should make like a collectible called Rizzo, but it's with 2 Z's, like Rizzo. Are you talking about the 2 $1,500? Could you check if 2 Rizzo Batman sold for 1,500 listings, or were they just delisted? Recently, I mean, there's one purchase today. Floor price was $19.51. And there's been one purchase 5 days ago, and then 2 purchases that all happened 6 days ago. See, about a week ago is when there was like a lot of hype. A lot of people were buying stuff. Like you can kind of see here. So how far back we can go. Yeah, like before, like Rizzo was averaging a sale like maybe 3 a week. So like every other day, like there was a Rizzo getting purchased. But then once things started getting exciting again, you can see there's been a sale each day. One day there was 3 sales. Another day there was 3 sales. It's just the purchase frequency has kind of gone up a bit. People are just kind of buying floors. Feel bad for people with Omi on Bit4X. Situation not looking good. They removed general chat from their Discord. That is, you know what? I am so fortunate. I did have money on Bit4X, and it was an Omi, amongst a couple other things. And thank God I liquidated all of it and I moved it to another exchange like 2 weeks ago. Nothing like against Bit4X, but I was just like, look, there's some coins I want to buy. They're not available on Bit4X. I'm just going to kind of take everything off, move it to this other exchange for other tokens that I do want to buy. And then later on, if I do want to buy the normal stuff like SEI and Bitcoin and whatever else, like I'll just put more money into Bit4X. So it actually ended up working out. I dodged a pretty big bullet by getting my stuff off the exchange like 2 weeks ago. So Yeah, that sucks. I don't know like all the details, but it doesn't sound like it's doing well. Putting money in Veve is like putting money into a stock exchange. It's slow moving in and out. Exactly, right? And then if you take the money out, you have to deal with capital gains and anything else. I mean, there's not really I mean, there technically is, but in the sense of like, there's just fees upon fees. If you like sell something and then try to withdraw the money, like, you know, you're losing like 18% of the amount. So agreed. We need the cross-pollination between crypto and Veve NFTs to be easy and seamless. Exactly. OMI to NFT, crypto to NFT. Even though I still believe, well, it's harder now ever since Bit4X got taken off, where I'm like, well, technically if we do OMI to NFT, people with crypto, people with like Bitcoin could technically, you know, sell it for USDT, then use that USDT for OMI, and then move that OMI over to Veve and bridge it. That's a lot of steps, but technically that is like crypto to NFT. But now with Bit4X being down, it's like one of the main exchanges that offered OMI. Yeah, that's gonna be tough. So G43 vibes. I pulled the trigger again on Blade Comic. Got a 3-digit SR on the 7th pull. Dude, you got a lot. What was it? Not sold out right away? Like, was it actually in the store and people were purchasing it? Because that's what it sounds like. You said on the 7th pull, so it almost made it seem like you like purchased multiple times. So yeah, I'm not too sure. I wasn't there for the drop. Like I was totally somewhere else. I forgot the drop about 40 minutes after the drop happened. I'm like, you know what? I completely forgot about the Blade drop. So Wes asks, why the shades? Why not the shades? That's the real question. Why not? Hamoon, what's up, brother? Dude, Hamoon, was it you, Hamoon? Like when I put up my X post, my Twitter post, whatever, about the stream, like you like liked it and retweeted it with like within like 15 seconds. It was crazy. It's called an exchange, please. Self-custody. Yeah, I remember a few weeks back Aloha made a video about his concerns about Bit4X and moved out of the exchange. Yeah, that's another reason why I kind of like need to keep my ear to the ground with a lot of these like crypto exchanges and stuff like that. So I dodged a bullet, but yeah. It's not sold out. Oh, it's still not sold out? No way. Like right now? Looks like they're all sold out. Or it didn't sell like immediately and then people bought it in the secondary. Yeah, they seem like it's all sold out. Oh, the comic. Oh, my bad. Okay, I was like, I thank you for the clarification. Sorry, we're talking about Blade and there's the comic and the collectible. When you said you got a 3-digit SR, I'm like, wait, isn't Blade always an SR? You know? But no, dude, that's even better for the comic, dude. Congrats, that's huge. Which Veve would post after drop how much MCP you needed? That would be cool. They did do it, obviously, for the gold Russo, like the gold dragon looking thing. So they did do it for that. But for this one, they didn't. Wait, did they? Like, how did people know you needed more than 20k MCP today? That's a lot of MCP points. Like, that's like 10% of my MCP points, me personally. Like right now I'm getting that's a bit higher because I think I did purchases recently, but I think I'm getting about 520 a day, so over 500. Yeah, if I put in 20,000, that's like 10% of my MCP. So comic, gotcha. Okay. I really like the Lamborghini collections. What do you think of it? Mitz asks, I like the Lambos. There's just a lot of them. Me personally, I'm not like a huge car person. I definitely understand like the appeal of it. As of right now, I'm just waiting for Lambos to get a bit cheaper. And I might get like one or two, but I'm not trying to buy a bunch of them. There is actually one Lambo I do like a lot. Let me see if I can find it here. I just really like the color and the style, which is this one. I really like this like maroon color. It's the ultra rare. Unfortunately, it's going for like 129. This is probably my favorite one. That, or never really cared about these other ones, like the 350 GT. I'm sure it's probably Lambo's one of their most popular cars, but aesthetically, personally, I don't really care for it. I do like this one, obviously, the rare that dropped not too long ago. I do like this one as well. The white. I do like the white a lot. I'm sure they'll do great. Right now, they just need the BB verse. They need the utility. You need to be able to sit in it, drive it around. There need to be racing games. Like there needs to be reasons to like have the vehicle and drive in it, or at least make you stand out from other people, right? But that's like the big thing. Yeah, the comic still isn't sold out. This one, 20 gems was just way too high, in my opinion, and everyone knows. There's still there's about 500 left in the market, about 550 left, a little bit more. Yeah, there's less than 600 left in the market, so it's getting there. I think people are slowly buying this reluctantly. But once this sells out, I do think prices could move up a bit. I mean, there's less than 600 left. So that's what? Basically like 90% is 90% is already like in the market, or at least accumulated by some people. Let's look at Tomb. What's that doing right now? What are the commons doing? I think I just bought a common for like 8 gems. I think it was like the day the drop happened. I was surprised it went down. I think it went as low as like 7 gems at one point. I was surprised. I thought it would hang around between 9 to like 12 or 13 at the very most, but it went all the way down to like 7 and like hung around 8 for a long time. I mean, the floor is technically somewhat thin before it starts getting up to like in the, basically 10 gems. Kid Arcade, let's go, dude. Dude, it's awesome hanging out with you yesterday. Get some good ideas. Vibes, did you see the Spider-Verse comic prizes? They're looking nice. Spider-Verse comic prizes. I did not. Comic prizes. Is there a prize for owning one? I had no idea. I did actually get extremely lucky. I was busy with work, so I played the drop. And I actually ended up getting a, let me see here, a 3-digit rare. I got a 3-digit rare, which is doing really well right now. Yeah, it's mint number 892. I don't know, good enough. And I really like the rare cover. I wanted to buy more in like the rebound, but I was so busy with work, I forgot about it. Or I was too caught up in a call. So I only own one. I don't even own the common. I do want to circle back and get the common. But yeah, are there prices for owning these, or like airdrops? That's kind of what it sounds like, Hamoon. See the Spider-Verse comic prizes. They're looking nice. I'm not sure. No more commons below 8 gems for this one. Oh, you mean for Blade? Yeah, Blade he's getting up there. I do think once it sells out, I do think the commons could probably push up to like, it'll probably like run up to 14, but then like kind of throttle back to like 12-ish. But it could hang out a bit higher. It's gonna, I do think the common, it's gonna take a lot of work for the common to like get up to 20, like box price. It's gonna take a while. Oh, prices, not prizes. My bad. I'm reading what you guys are saying too literally. I thought like Marvel was doing an airdrop or some sort of giveaway, and I'm like, oh, what's the prize for owning this? So yeah, let me take a quick look at that. Is there a way to, yeah, I think this is up to date. Yeah, this is pretty much up to date. Let's do Spider-Verse. Yeah, commons are at 4.5 gems. Uncommon is also at 4.5. Did this just change? All right, this is at 30. This is at 33. Uncommon's at 190. I really wanted to go for more for these because anything Spider-Man related, anytime it's a first appearance, first run of a series or whatever, I knew this one was going to do well. I didn't think the rare would do this well, but it kind of makes sense now that I've taken a closer look at it. It has all the Spider-Verse characters on it, so that's really awesome. Of course, we got Spider-Man Noir on the ultra rare cover that looks cool, and then Spider-Zero on the secret rare. Is she not on any of the other covers? I think she's only on the secret rare. Yeah, I'm gonna circle back around and grab the common at some point, but I got lucky. I landed the rare. Definitely happy to get it. So congrats, that's the best one in my opinion. It sounds like it. I think aesthetically, at least just like cover art wise, it does look awesome. Yeah, like that does look really good. Pixel Trader says he loves the gold Lambo. Gotcha. And then thanks for the correction there on the prices, not prizes. Yeah, the floor prices are looking very good. I do want to buy a common. It wouldn't surprise me if the common's up to like 6 gems in like a week or something like that. So I'll definitely be buying one at some point in the near future. Yeah, they're doing very well. I've really learned to like just not underestimate anything Spider-Man related, comic wise. Just don't underestimate it. Choo Choo, what's up? Ayo, how you doing, man? Just hanging out, talking about random Veve stuff. Let me zoom in here, and then let's look at some listings. So what is up the most? Eternals Ultra Rare is up to 1,500. I'm actually just curious about this. It's up like 8,000%. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, according to this, like the Eternals Ultra Rare is up like 8,000%. Probably because there's like one on the market. Let me look that up really quick just for fun. I'm actually going to get rid of this for now, because it's kind of getting in the way. Eternals #1 Ultra Rare. Okay, I guess the floor was 1,700, like 1,500 at one point. Yeah, the floors are just so thin. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. You meant anything Miles Morales related comics? That too. I mean both. Yeah, I mean the speculation is strong with this community, or just the comic community in general. I don't know. Me personally, I like buying. I don't mind buying like newer heroes because other people do, and I do like Miles and all that stuff, but it's really hard to go wrong with classic Peter Parker and all the other classic superheroes like Thor and Iron Man. Like it's just, you just can't go wrong with them. So that's kind of my thing. Scared to buy anything at the moment? I'm with you. Not so much scared. I just know things are going to pull back. So I know what you mean. Like, you know, unless you're one of those people that's throwing 1,000 gems into the app every month, you know, you kind of have to like watch what you're purchasing. You know, kind of like kind of keep yourself on a budget, and that's kind of where I feel like I've kind of not so much like filled the niche, but just like, hey, there's a lot of people like myself that probably put in on average like 50, maybe 100 gems in the app a month. Some months I don't put any in. Some months I do double or triple that because there's a big drop that I really want to get. So I know not everyone is able to throw a bunch of money in the app. So it's like, all right, now we kind of need to pick and choose what we like and what we think is going to do well. What things are good for a flip if something's up. And that's why there's a handful of things I own that I do not mind flipping, or like I bought with the intention of flipping at some point. That's why I typically look to see what's up. You know, I don't own a Donnie or any of these other things, but you know, if you own an X-Men Ultra Rare, whatever this is, I know it's mostly just because the floor is super thin, but if you own one, you're not in love with the comic, you know, you could floor it for 35 gems and you might sell it. I did that with a secret rare comic recently that I was very fortunate to land on the drop, but I wasn't in love with it. I think it was like it was one of the Thor ones, but it was like the new age Thor comics that was released in like the last like 10 years. And so, yeah, I just sold the secret rare. I felt like it was at like a decent enough price, and I sold it because I saw it was up more than normal. And so I sold it. Marvel has a lot of secret rare comics and ultra rare comics. I've definitely pumped a lot. Makes sense because those are the comics with, you know, the least amount of mint numbers as well as just listings. I'm still a big fan of ultra rare comics because from what I've noticed in the past is a lot of the times there's actually less ultra rares than there are secret rares on the app. Let's see if I can find one, for example. Man, where are my hands? Yeah, let's look at the Reed Richards one. All right, there's actually more ultra rares than secret rares, but I've seen it before where there's like less ultra rares on the market than there are secret rares. Prices can go down. Prices can always go down. I do think there's going to be a pullback. There's going to be a big pump. There's going to be a lot of people like myself or other people that are like, yeah, this comic or collectible I've owned for 6 months, a year, or whatever. Like, I'm not in love with it, but now that it's finally up and I'm either going to break even or I'm going to make a little bit of gems, I'm just going to sell it because it's up 50% or whatever. I paid 19 for that UR Eternals comic a few months ago. Let's go, dude. Actually, let me look that one up. That is crazy. I mean, odds are you might be able to list it. Look at this chart. You can't even 2 week. Yeah, this chart is 18. I think the floors were just so thin that the prices just catapulted. So I don't know, you never know. Maybe list it for 555, 550. See if someone buys it. Wait a month and then buy it back for 25 gems. Anything could happen. Especially since this thing is pretty much always sold for between 15 to 30 gems constantly. Yeah, dude, this thing does not get purchased very much. This thing gets about 4 to 5 sales a month. Yeah, pretty much 4 to 5 sales a month. And then recently, I guess the floors just got so thin that people bought it up. If people putting 20k MCP on Blade, I expect 100 MCP on a Grail comic. Yeah, you know, Captain America #1, if we get that, or if we get Wolverine, odds are I'm probably going to go pretty hard on Wolverine. It really depends on the mint numbers and how many and the price and a bunch of other stuff, but right now my instinct is probably to use at least half my MCP points. So like you said, him in like 100,000 or something like that. If it has like the same mint numbers as like Blade, I'll probably just go all in and just say I tried everything I could to get it, and if I didn't get it, so be it, whatever. So that's my take. There will be drops that need at least 200k MCP to have any chance. Wolverine is one of them. If they drop a 1000 mint Wolverine SR and that's it, that's going to easily be a 200,000 MCP point thing, in my opinion. Like, Wales will definitely want that one if it's like a solo drop. Even if it was a blind box and there's like 3 Wolverines, probably do a little bit less. Maybe I'll still go all in. Who knows? It's most of the time I usually kind of have a plan, but then it comes down to like a game time decision. So let's take a look at what's down right now. We'll just leave the No Time to Die. That's always going to be volatile. T-Rex, the Avengers, Spider-Man 2. Interesting. A lot of these are just comics that have just pumped up and now they're pulling back. Like if we look at Spider-Man 2099. Yeah, this one, man, this one had a big run up early or late January. Went from 8 to 15 gems. Then it's been cooling off. Then it's had now finally like a big drop off at 7. Now it's finally returned back to where it was, around 6 to 7. This is, I think, what's going to happen with a lot of collectibles. Like this comic took a month to get to this point, to kind of get back to where it was. I think that's going to happen with a lot of the collectibles that pumped like early to mid February. It's going to probably be like early to mid March. Probably like mid-March before things like finally get back to like where they were before, and now you can like accumulate again. That's just my take. So Using MCP point I have for Wolverine. Yep. Not a terrible idea. Not a terrible idea. There's a very good chance I think we get it this year. With like X-Men 97 coming out and then the Deadpool and Wolverine movie. When is that movie coming out? Coming out this year, right? It's in July 26th. We're probably get it this summer. It just makes too much sense to not get it. But if we don't, you know, so be it. Hello, Vibes. Single animated Wolverine SR would drain everyone's wallet of MCP, mine included. Yep. Easily. Froey Komi. Hard agree there. If only we could like raffle it, you know? Fro really liked the raffle idea. I really think we should do it. Fro, if you got the ear of David D or whoever, you can even say it was your idea. I don't care. But I would love for us to raffle stuff. Like for something like this, I don't even know. I don't have like any absurdly expensive collectibles. But if I could raffle off certain collectibles, you know, I would. Because it's so much easier to sell your collectible when you can have 10 or 15 people, you know, buy a ticket and then you can sell it, right? For a chance to win. Yeah, I used to have quite a few like very high ticket, not high ticket, but very high-end grails. I kind of sold a lot of them and bought some other stuff. Like what's the blue what's the Veve logo going for? 113? Yeah. Like it'd be way easier to sell this instead of flooring it for 110 and then someone's gonna undercut me at 109 or whatever. It's like if I could put out 100 tickets at 1.5 gems and everyone there's a lot of people that would be willing to pay 1.5 gems per ticket to have a chance at winning this, right? You have a 1% chance to win for each ticket you buy. And if you lose, you lose, but that's my take. Yeah, the great MCP reset after low mint Wolverine, pretty much. On Wolverine also, I go all in also. I think everyone's going to go all in on Wolverine. You might as well, right? I can't think of another drop off the top of my head that I'd be like, oh man, I wish I had 200,000 or 100,000 MCP to bid on this. There might be like one or two things, but I really doubt Veve drops grails that are that significant like back to back. Like I think they'll give some people some time to like accumulate MCP again and stuff. All in MCP on Wolverine collectible or comic? Ooh, that is a good one. Probably the collectible and then the comic. I'll definitely put in like a decent amount, but nothing that would like completely get rid of all my MCP points. I think it depends on the mint number too. If they do like 5,000 mints, ooh, that's tough. But if they do 10,000, I might not do, I'll definitely do MCP points, but I think there's enough remaining, you know, of the 60% that like, okay, I can maybe get one if I don't bid enough. But for the collectible, if there's like 3,000, 4,000, like I might as well just go all in. The less the better. I see them doing 2 major drops in 1 week to make us go crazy. I really hope not. What's the raffle idea? I'll get into it. I'm actually behind on chat, but we talked about it yesterday for a bit. But I'm picturing Willy Wonka scenario, kind of, but it's even better than that. Veve's putting out a bunch of comic covers showing the Sentinels. I'm thinking we might get a Mighty or Premium collectible soon. Interesting. Okay. Veve's putting out a bunch of comic covers showing the Sentinels. What do you mean? Just like recent comic drops, or is Veve like releasing like exclusive covers? I think it just so happens that because there's the X-Men 97 coming out, we're getting a lot of like Sentinel stuff. But we could. Who knows? The golden ticket. Have to say X23 is my all-time favorite superhero, but obviously Wolverine will be worth a ton more. Really interesting. I'm kind of curious why X23 is your favorite one. I'd love to hear it. I mean, I know of her, but she's not like my favorite. Do love Wolverine. What's raffle idea is a home run? Yeah, we'll get into it. Let me just catch up with chat. I'm selling my MCP if anyone is interested. That's another thing I wish you could kind of do is sell MCP, or if they start doing trading, you can add MCP points as like a sweetener, right? If I'm trading Kid Arcade a Cyclops for a, I don't know, another random collectible, and he thinks that Cyclops isn't worth as much as his collectible, I could say, all right, I'll give you Cyclops plus 10,000 MCP points for the trade. And be like, okay, that's good enough. So then I can actually give him 10,000 MCP points and Cyclops. So, and maybe there's a burn with the trade, right? Maybe there's a 10% burn where it's like, all right, if he wants 10,000 MCP points, I really need to give it 11,000 because 10% will get burned. Or that's not exactly how the math works, but you know what I mean. Like a certain amount will get burned in the transfer process. So that's another way to like burn it. But cannot wait for sick Dr. Doom collectible. I think he's gonna be maybe bigger than Thanos. If they write him correctly, yeah, I mean, technically he is bigger than Thanos in the comic books. Thanos is huge, don't get me wrong, but there's some writers that have done Dr. Doom where he's like been a bigger threat than Thanos. Thanos has done some insane stuff too in the comics, but Dr. Doom, certain writers have made him like pretty much like a villain that takes out gods and all kinds of crazy stuff. We didn't got Spider-Man 210 comic, but we didn't lost anything. The movie doesn't has good reviews. Spider-Man 210, which one's that? When is this? Oh, Madam Web. Okay. Yep, no, we don't have Madam Web yet. Yeah, movie was terrible from what I've heard. I haven't seen it yet, but like legitimately every single review I've ever seen on YouTube. And it's not even like, oh, everyone's biased, blah, blah. It's like, if you look on reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, YouTube, like everywhere, like it is not good. So it is unfortunate, but it is what it is. I would still like a Madam Web comics. Like I would definitely buy one. But San Diego Comic-Con is July 25th to 28th. Deadpool Wolverine movies July 26th. Wolverine may drop on Veve during Comic-Con week. That would be beyond amazing. Anytime during that summer period, I'd be totally stoked. And that is only a few weeks after I kind of get my big bonus from my work, so could get a little crazy. We'll see. I would have used MCP for the SR Ashton back in the day. Yeah, that would have been nice. Tons of people. F.A. Taylor beats Wolverine. I swear to God. True. F.A. Imagine, yeah, like a Dazzler first appearance. And it's like still a comic book Dazzler, but at the very bottom, there's like a Taylor Swift signature. And that alone makes her like 10 times more expensive than Wolverine. Like, bro, I'll give you 3 Wolverines for a Taylor Swift Dazzler. And people are like, nah, dude, I don't want it. I don't want 3 Wolverines. I just want the Taylor Swift Dazzler. Let's go Wolverine Mighty. It would suck. I mean, it's not what I prefer, but if that's what it is what it is. I've kind of gotten over the fact of like, oh, this collectible looks like crap and this one's not aesthetically pleasing. It's first appearance at the end of the day. And part of the reason why some of the collectibles might not look like amazing, that could be part of the charm, right? There's a lot of early comics of characters or first appearances. You look at them and you're like, oh, that's not a good look. Like the classic one, in my opinion. Where's the whatever the Sentinel one is? I'm trying to remember which one that is. Date purchase. Let's see here. Okay, so X-Men 14. Let's see. Not Amazing Spider-Man. Not that one. And we got a lot of number 14s here. I forgot this one's still not sold in the store. But yeah, it's like, look at this art of a Sentinel. Are people gonna say like, oh, I don't want an SR of this comic because the art looks like it's not a very good looking Sentinel? But I've kind of gotten over it for collectibles and comics. It's like, that's kind of part of the charm of the time, right? Could Thor look better? Probably, but still first appearance. What if we get rugged and Taylor Swift is actually Lady Deadpool and not Dazzler? That would be a twist. That would definitely that would definitely be a twist. That, or I do think they could potentially have her be like kind of a funny cameo, like what was it? Was it Brad Pitt in the original Deadpool? It was it Deadpool 2? where he was like an invisible guy, then he was like flying down, got electrocuted and died. He was literally like on camera for half a second, but he did voice act and all that stuff. So like it'd be kind of funny if they did something like that with Taylor Swift. Like she's done a little cameo or like a handful of scenes for like 2 or 3 minutes and that's it, but her collectibles still sell for like infinitely more than Wolverine. I would buy MCP, no cap. I mean, you can in a way, right? With comics and collectibles, you know, you're basically, if you're buying a comic or a rare comic with the intention of MCP, you're basically buying MCP. You know, the comic is almost just a bonus. Do we expect something on February 27th? You mean on Tuesday? Do we expect something on February 27th? Oh, for Pokemon Day? Ooh. Probably not. Probably not. Very unlikely. But not impossible. Let's see here. So, okay, so just kind of wind back around. Someone was asking, like, how does what's the raffle idea? It was G43 asked about the raffle idea. It's very simple. It's very simple. Let's say, I don't know, what's Walt at right now? We looked it up earlier, but so if I owned a Walt, right now it's going for 3K. Let's just say 3K. You know, in order for someone to buy a Walt, you need one person to have at least 3,000 gems in their account, right, to buy it. And then even then, when I list it for, let's just say the floor is 3,000, I list it for 3,000, someone can undercut me, they just keep undercutting, and it just kind of keeps going from there. Or what I could do is I could do a special kind of sale where I could say I want to put it up as a raffle, and so I could put the price. I'll put 3,000 gems, and it's gonna ask, hey, how many tickets do you want it to go out to? I'll just say, you know, 1,000 tickets, so it's three gems a ticket, and each ticket you buy, you know, you have a, because it's 1,000, you know, you have a 0.1% chance to win per ticket, so you can just buy tickets, right? Just to keep it simple, let's say 100 tickets. You have 1% chance to buy, and it's 30 gems a ticket. There are probably some people out there that are willing to buy 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 tickets, just a chance to win at a Walt. And once all the tickets get purchased, Veve, the platform, will just randomly generate who wins. That person gets the Walt, and then it's done. It's literally no different than a blind box. Everyone clicks buy, or we get randomly selected. We're just kind of trusting Veve, right? That we're getting randomly selected, right? It's all random, at least supposedly. And so we can do the same system except for community-led raffles. Like Veve isn't involved. Veve's facilitating the raffle, but I'm putting up the trade. Everyone else is buying the tickets. It's almost like another blind box that people can kind of get excited for, right? If someone's selling a Miles on raffle, you're like, oh my God, someone's selling a secret rare Miles. You know, there's only 1,000 tickets or 100 tickets, you know, buy them now to have a chance of winning this. And, you know, I would imagine it would also cost MCP points to buy a ticket. So you have to have, you know, whatever gems you need for a ticket. You also need to burn, let's say 1,000 MCP points per ticket. So you can't have just like random people that like just initially join Veve, throw 30 bucks and just win a grail. It has to be people that have been here for a while. Maybe there's an MCP limit. Maybe you have to be at least like MCP like gold level to go for raffles. That's like one of the benefits. So yeah, that's kind of my thought. In addition to that, it's also good for the seller because you can actually ask for more. Now you can sell it for 3,300 gems because now, you know, the price of the, you know, if you put it for 3,300, the price goes from 30 to 33 gems, which isn't that big of a deal. So if someone's going to buy 1 to 5, they're going to buy those anyway. So now you can actually get 3,300 gems out of your sale. So like, I really like the raffle idea because it's all community led. It's very easy to sell grails. It gives new users, or newer users, a chance to actually win a grail, almost as if it was, you know, back in like 2021, right? Because as of right now, it's like, unless you just get lucky on a big drop or you just have a ton of money to throw at Veve, like it's impossible to get a Walt. But with the raffle system, hey, now anyone can kind of win a Walt. So I'm sure there's something they could do with burning OUP, burning MCP, whatever. But that's just kind of my idea for like a raffle system. I don't see any reason to not have it. It benefits buyers, it benefits sellers, encourages more selling, licensors get more money, Veve gets more money. Like, it's probably just a software issue. Not sure if it falls under rules of like gambling or whatever it is, but then again, we're also playing a blind box system of, you know, putting money in. So I'm not sure if Veve has a thing where, hey, if you spend gems, you have to get something in return. You know, even on the blind box format, you know, for Robocop, right? You you join the wait list and you don't lose 40 gems until you actually get it, right? Like, unless you win the drop, then you spend the 40 gems, you're guaranteed something in return. So maybe that could constitute as like gambling if you're putting in gems and you're not going to get it back and you don't win anything in return, but who knows? So that's the general idea. Anyway, let's see here. Sorry for the long rant, but someone wanted to know what the what's it called, the raffle idea was, and there's a whole lot of other ideas I think Veve should do on the wrap. I think there should be more security. I think there should be it should be easier to like go through comics on the app, because as of right now there's like 300 comics on the app, and if you're trying to scroll through all the comics, like it's only 2x2, right? Or it's like 2x4, right? So I really wish I could like shrink the size of the comics so I could look at more comics on my screen versus like scrolling through literally over 100 rows of comics to find what I'm looking for. Let's say if you forget the name or whatever it is. Trying to see what else is up right now, or what else is doing well. Speaking of, there's that secret rare Sentinel comic. It went up 44% yesterday, or in the last 24 hours. Invisible Labbit Neon. Interesting. I haven't thought about Labbits in like a really long time. The Avengers. First appearance of Kang. Not as good as the uncommon, but we'll take it. White Rabbit, how you doing? Is all new Ghost Rider #1 SR 8527 worth $35.99? That is a very specific question. Let's pull it up really quick. Is it all new? It's a good comics. All new. I'll just type it out. Or maybe I'll just do Ghost Rider. All new Ghost Rider #1 secret rare. Possibly. Let's see what it's done before. How old is this collectible? Let's go 2 years. I don't think it's 2 years old. Yeah. So start off in the 50s. This was late 2022. Obviously pulled back a ton. There's a massive pump here, probably just because there was, again, thin floors. Or that might have been around the time versus like MCP, so 28. Now it's pulled back a ton. I think its price range is probably around where it's at now, kind of. But I mean, it's gone as low as 30 at one point, technically 25. So it's up to you. If I like really like this comic, I mean, you can definitely buy it. But if you're trying to wait for a cheaper price, I think you can wait around. Just looking at the chart here. Plus, there's so many other things you could buy for 35 gems right now. Is there something about that comic you like, White Rabbit? Is it just the cover, or you think that Robbie Reyes is going to be like the new big Ghost Rider in the future? I'm just kind of curious. Like, what's other collectibles we can... What, one too far. Still one too far. There we go. Like, what are some... I don't know, like, what are some other comics we can buy between... Let's say between 30 to 38 gems. Comics. You can get an ultra rare black suit Spider-Man. I think that's his first black suit. Spider-Man Noir. You can get an Incredible Hulk, but that's a common. You can get a giant size X-Men #1 or Tales of Suspense. You can get an ultra rare first appearance of Star-Lord. That's another big one. Yeah, if you're going for like a spec play, like, yeah, go for it. I'm not going to tell you guys to like not buy something, but I always at least give you options. Hey, I like the secret rare comic, but hey, there's other options too. Do you have this comic? Do you have this collectible? Do you like this more? You know, that's kind of like the goal of my channel. I like to give you guys options and let you decide. I'm not here to say yes or no or tell you can't buy something. Yeah, I mean, these are all, yeah, see right here, it's going for 36. Still a few other, let's look at just other secret rare comics going for that same price range. Of course, a lot of Tarzans. Marauders 21. That's the Hellfire Gala. Gala. I do think they're gonna. If you guys haven't seen my tweet, I do think X-Men 97 is gonna start going into some of these storylines, and I do think Marauders 21. That's the Hellfire Gala. I think that's gonna be there. I mean, it's literally on the newspaper. Like that's like floating across the screen in the trailer. Like they straight up mentioned the Hellfire Gala. Ooh, I do like this one. True Believer variant with Gambit. That is a cool one. That's also going for like a similar price. Yeah, these are all the secret rares. You can get first appearance Bishop for 37. So I'm just showing you what other options you have in the price range. Remember David saying he wants our comics to burn for a special version? That's got to be sometime soon, and I think MC1 will be the biggest winner once this happens. That is a very fantastic point, Pasternak. That is one that some people have been silently accumulating. I think that has moved. We don't need to get that far back. What's gone on for this last 6 months? Yeah, this one's pretty much bottomed out in like the high 20s. Right now, Marvel Comics #1 is pushing 42 gems. I think it can pull back to like the mid 30s, but I do want to start accumulating more Marvel Comics #1s. It's just tough because that's like number 40 of the thing on the list of things I want to buy. There's just so many things I want to buy on the app. Because if there is any kind of burn or any kind of thing, this is probably going to be one of the first ones to do it, right? I really agree with you there. That's a good point. What I'm curious is what the burn is going to be of. You have to burn common and uncommons to get a secret cover, or do you have to burn a whole set? I think burning a whole set is perfect. It gets everything pumping. Obviously, mostly the rare, ultra rare, and secret rares. Those are going to pump the most. But it's just going to be super exciting. I really hope they either do a burn where it's like, all right, you burn 20 of any combination of common and uncommon comics, or at least just, you could do 10 commons, 10 uncommons, or 10 and 19, or 10 and 10, or whatever, 5 and 15, whatever combination. You get a secret, you get a special comic cover, or you burn a whole set. If you burn the whole set of Marvel Comics, you get some super special one. Slider, what up, Vibes? Didn't know you were going live. Yeah, I'm live right now. Today was kind of like a last minute thing. I'm actually going to a music concert thing tonight, and so I was like, all right, I'm gonna wake up, go on a hike, come back, kind of squeeze in a stream, probably take a short nap or whatever it is, and then go to the concert later tonight. So it's gonna be a ton of fun. White Rabbit says trying to collect cheap SR comics for daily points. Yeah, that's a good point. Let me pull up Veve set list really quick. I mean, I'm sure you already know about this. I think everyone already knows about Veve set list, but if you don't, this is by far the best way to find out which comics to buy for how much. I do think that Robert Ray is one that you mentioned, White Rabbit, can go down a bit further from where it's at now, so maybe be patient with that one. But as of right now, wait, is this right? Or no, I have it on secret rare. So if you go from cheapest to most expensive, Journey into Mystery, these ones haven't dropped yet, but technically a lot of the Tarzan stuff is the cheapest way to go. I would say White Rabbit, if you already own a ton of these, or if there's some comics you don't really care for, then yes, maybe start going for because we've already gone down this whole list of comics and we haven't even seen a secret rare yet. So if you already own all of these or most of these, or you just don't want to stack a bunch of random rares and you do want to have some secret rares, you can just do what I did here, which is organize it by rarity, secret rare. Yeah, it's just tough because secret rares, even the cheapest secret rare, it costs about 4.5, almost 5 gems per MCP point. But if you just stick to basically rare and ultra rares, it's going to be between 2 to 3, maybe 3 to 4 gems per MCP point, depending on how far down you go on the list. So if your sole goal, if you couldn't care less about the comic and your sole goal is just getting MCP points per day, this list is probably a good list to follow. Same with collectibles. There's actually a lot of collectibles that give you fantastic. It didn't used to be this way before. Rare comics were the best thing, gem per MCP point. But now, and actually some collectibles have gotten so cheap, or maybe just rare comics and ultra rare comics have pumped so much that there's a lot of cheap stuff. There's a lot of stamps. It's mostly stamps that you can buy that'll give you like really cheap MCP points. Same thing with sets. There's a handful of sets you can get. It's not the best MCP point, you know, per bonus or per set, but at least you can say you completed the set. Yeah, but there's a lot of good like single collectibles you can grab that are fantastic for MCP points. Most of these are stamps, unsurprisingly. Yeah, this whole first page is just stamps. So if you like stamps, congrats. You can get your stamps and get MCP points at the same time. If not, then you might have to get something else. The Bull 911 says always been in rare from the get-go. Yeah, that's a good call. I would say now is a little late. I don't say it's a little late. Technically you can buy them whatever you want, but if you're really trying to like hard stack MCP points, I would maybe wait just a little bit. I do think things are going to cool off a bit here in the next like month or so. Yeah, so there's some comics and stuff that are doing well, but there was just so much hype for the MCP point thing that started, you know, just a few weeks ago. So a lot of collectibles and comics have pumped. I would give it like a solid month and like let them like cool off. I think there's only like 2 or 3, maybe 4 weeks left before they kind of get back to where they were. Not all of them are going to do that, but I think most will, or at least like some of the B tier comics and lower. Hope that helped, White Rabbit. Damn, Spider-Verse comic rare is more expensive than the UR. Yeah, it's unsurprising. Let me look at this. Spider-Verse. Yeah, this is the one we just got. So this is going for, wow, 34 gems. Let's look at the... Yeah, technically, yeah, they're pretty much dead even. Technically, what was it, like 34.70 something, or like 33.70 something? Yeah, technically the rare is more expensive than the UR. That's crazy. Close this. Yeah, people really like that cover. So I was pretty fortunate to land this on the drop. Really wish I could have. Was there any rebounds? Like, did anybody get any rebounds on that comic? If not, then I'll feel better that I wasn't available to like go for the rebound. But did you guys get any rebounds on this comic? Or was it pretty much like sold out right away and only a handful of people actually like got a chance at a rebound? Yeah, was there anything else in particular you guys wanted to look at? Sometimes when I go on the market like this, the market will always show you, like, it's not always up to date, like to the minute. This is probably more of like an hourly or like every couple hours this will update on like what's the most sold things. But this will show you like the most recent things that are being sold, or I should say at least listed on the market. Cyclops right now, okay, he's pulling back to 18. There was a period of time where he was going like 24, 25 gems. He is the leader of the X-Men. The X-Men show is coming out. I do need to buy more X-Men stuff, including the collectibles. I was just kind of chilling to see what would happen to them, see if they'd pull back a bit more. Some have, some haven't. Cyclops is one of them that has not really like pulled back at all, or like he has, but I think he'll keep going up. Let me see. Is that still unsold out, or is it still in the store? The X-Men stuff? I think there's very few X-Men stuff left in the store. Yeah, you can still buy these in the store, but they're getting pretty low. Okay, like 90% of them are sold. So there's still 10% of the supply left in the store, which isn't a ton. But if certain collectibles keep pumping like they are, it might actually encourage people to buy from the store versus on the market. Look up X-Men and then collectibles. If I did all one word, that's not gonna work either. Oh, it's because I put secret rare, that's why. X-O-Men. All, that's what we want. There we go. Yeah, Storm is kind of the one you don't want to land. And if you land Jubilee, Gambit, or Beast, you do lose a little bit of gems, but if you land the Cyclops or Professor X, you do end up getting a little bit of profit. Storm is the one you don't want to land. But if Gambit starts going up as well as Jubilee and they start getting up to box price or maybe a tiny bit higher, people might just buy, at least I know I would, personally, I would just buy in the store. Maybe we can check some rare and your comic prices. Yep. Yeah, we'll do that in here in a sec. $34. I'd rather get Hulk #1. I'd get the spec play, but this, sorry, but this I could see fall over the next few months. Yeah. 34 bucks for a rare. I don't know. People really like Spider-Man, dude. There's a lot of comic book collectors that love Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse and Miles Morales and all that stuff. So, and it also just so happens a lot of the big comic book collectors on Veve, like that are physical comic book collectors, also will have a decent amount of gems to throw in the app. So that also kind of helps exacerbate it. And then they tell their whale friends, you know, or they make a video talking about it, and then the whales buy it because Sleepin' or Comics and Crypto or whoever else said that, hey, this is a good spec play, or if you like Miles Morales, buy this. Then those prices also go up as well. Let's take a quick look at the rare comics on here. This is probably the easiest way to do it. 24-hour trend. Let's see which rare comics have like moved the most recently. Yeah, some of these have moved up a ton. Wow. Like this Marvel preview, first appearance of Star-Lord. This was moved up like 5 gems. It was going for like 17 before. Now it's at 22. Spider-Boy, that's another big one. I'm so glad I held my Spider-Boy. There was a handful of times where I was like, man, I want to sell this. Like, I like Spider-Boy's cool. I just don't really care for him. But do I still have my Spider-Boy? I think I do. I don't have that many secret rares. There it is. Spider-Man number 7. Yeah, this is going for $375. I won this on the drop, so I got super lucky. Super cool. Go back to here. What's this? Ultimate Spider-Man #1. Not familiar with that first appearance is or if it's significant, but that one's gone up a bit. Kamala Khan. Yeah, there's a few others that have moved. What's down the most? That's kind of what I want to see. I always look to see what's down, and that's like a purchasing opportunity for me. At least that's kind of like my take. Amazing Spider-Man number 700. That's the one. That's the ultra rare one where it has like the AF-15, like almost like not prototype, but kind of like the prototype cover of AF-15, I believe. Maybe we'll take a look at that one a little bit later. Spider-Man 2099. The Last of the Clan McDuck. I honestly, I couldn't pay less attention to a lot of like the Disney comic drops. I probably should pay attention, but I'm just not a huge fan of them, personally. You know, I don't have a Groot. I don't have an FA Groot, strangely enough. Else to Astonish 13. I don't think I have one. At least not a rare. He's going for 7 gems right now. It's a cool little cover. And then first appearance of Eternity. 138. That's a really cool cover. I actually really like this one as a rare. Super cool colors. This isn't a Baldari cover, is it? It wouldn't surprise me if it was. Let me look it up really quick. Almost got me curious. 138. Should say it. Yeah, Nicoletta, Baldari. Yep, of course. Can't deny those colors and the art style. Like, I've kind of gotten to the point before I would never have like thought of this. Now I know how people are able to like look at an art style or like something that's drawn or made and be like, oh, that's that artist, or that's this person that does the colors or whatever. Like, it's almost, I just see it all the time. So this is actually a really nice cover. What's it going for right now? There's 12 editions on the market. $7. It's a cool looking cover. I will say that. Of course you do. It's Baldari. It is amazing. It is awesome, dude. I love me some Baldari covers. She's awesome. This one too, you know. You know what? How do you guys feel about this one? This cover. I wasn't a huge fan of it at first. I don't know what it was. It looked like a coloring book more than like a very like high-end. I don't know how to explain it. It looks awesome. At first I didn't like it. It's starting to grow on me. Looks like an anime cartoon cover. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, there's a handful of covers that when I first saw them, I was not a. Was there any covers that you guys saw? At first, you're like, oh, this looks terrible. But like the more you saw, or the more you understood like the artist or whatever, or you saw more of their artwork in other comic covers, you're like, all right, I'm starting to like this. That's how it was about Nicoletta. About some of her work. At first, I was like, like what is this? Like Giant Size X-Men, I think was like another classic one. Like, I was not a big fan of this, I don't know, like this art style where everything is like very, where a lot of stuff is like very round and there's very few like pointed edges, like mostly like Wolverine's like ears or like Nightcrawler's like outfit and stuff like that. I don't know how to explain it, but it's not bad. No, it's not bad. It's just like, it's just not my style or something I would have liked, so. We going for a butterfly Robocop jetpack? Personally, I'm not. Let me double check on the jetpack. How many are there? How many jetpacks are there? Wow, 2,000? No way. I'm not doing it personally. What are your guys' price predictions on Robocop? Like this one. Right, because this is the one that gets created once you burn the jetpack. Because you're not burning FA Robocop, you're burning the jetpack. I think 2,000 editions is too much for the jetpack. I'm curious what you guys think this will go for. Could put it to a vote. I don't know. Scotty Young did not like them, but now it really grew on me. Scotty Young, yeah, dude, Scotty Young's another good one. He did one recently. I think the easiest way to find it is just to do this. He did one recently that I did like. Let's do comics. I think it was a rare cover. I don't remember. He did one somewhat recently. Because there was a pretty period of time where we got like no Scotty Young like cover art for like over a year. I feel like we got it like somewhat early on in Veve, then like he just didn't make anything for like a year and a half. I didn't see any art from him. Not there. Could have sworn there was some Scotty Young release date. Yeah, it's on release date. Wait, that doesn't seem right. Spider-Man 2. Maybe it wasn't as recent as I thought. Oh, there it is. There's this, and there might have been something else I overlooked. But this one, Avengers #1. This He says, oh, now a little to the right. Marvel now. Oh, Hawkeye's like shooting up there trying to get cookies. All right, that's pretty adorable. Like, you gotta look at this. Miss Marvel's like holding up Wolverine, who's holding up Captain America, then Thor, then Spider-Woman, then Black Widow. Of course, Hulk's at the bottom. Iron Man is directing. Yeah, that's a good one. Could have sworn there was a more recent comic in the last like month and a half. Wait, did I just overlook it while I was looking through here? I don't think so. Yeah, I didn't see. Oh no, right here. Yeah, Hulk 684. This this is another okay, that's just funny. That is pretty funny. It's just the classic cover, but he's just like breaking through it. Yeah, I could have sworn there was like we got a couple more comics from him somewhat recently, but I feel like most of like 2023 we didn't get anything from Scotty Young. Maybe we did and I just don't remember. If you already own a Robocop, spending 40 gems to own a butterfly Robocop is not bad. Correct. But if you don't own a Robocop, but you still want a flying Robocop, you might as well just buy the flying Robocop in the secondary. We'll see. I do think flying Robocop, do you guys think it'll be above or below 40? I don't know, because think of it this way. There's a lot of people that bought Robocop for like 50 gems, 60 gems. Right now, is at like 110. People could technically buy the backpack for 40, burn it, get the Robocop. And if they sell both Robocops, you could sell one for, you know, the 100 that it's worth now, the classic, and then the other one for 30, and could still technically make a profit. Because you're up so much on the original. Because you're up so much on the original Robocop. But we'll see. I don't know. With these crafting things, I feel like usually if you're crafting something, you're kind of fetching for like a low mint number. That or you just really like the character and you can do whatever you want. But I'm not really going for it. I have not really even looked at the Robocop jetpack. Probably under retail, my guess, 2K editions. That is a lot. Yeah. These Scotty Young are all comic covers. Or old, yeah. He did the Hulk one that was a few weeks ago. Yeah, that was the one I just saw there. Yeah, crafting isn't really profitable, but I got Robocop for 69 gems, so yeah, might as well. That's exactly what I'm talking about. If you get it for cheap enough, you can either just, there's like 3 ways to go about it. Either just, you own a Robocop, you're not going to test the drop, you do nothing, whatever. You could sell the original or classic Robocop right now, and just lock in your profits. Odds are classic Robocop's gonna like stoop down to 70, maybe even 60 something gems after the drop. I think there's gonna be so much sell pressure that it could push down to like the 60s, and then the jetpack, I guess you could buy the jetpack, craft it, and kind of hope for a low mint number, and then sell that or keep it, whatever you want to do. But I think like buying the jetpack and trying to flip the jetpack itself is just not gonna work. BV Wheels, what's up? That's right. What up, homies? There was a Scotty Young collectible cover Ultraman poster. I think we've seen that. I remember seeing that before. Ultraman? Collectible, right? Yep, this one right here. What's it going for right now? Dude, what's crazy is all-time high for this poster is 170. All-time low, 9.5 gems. It's going for 13 right now. There is almost 6,000 editions, but yeah, this is the Scotty Young Ultraman poster. Pretty cool looking. That's cool. Interesting that the $2 stamp is actually hanging around 2 gems right now. Stamp. Does anyone else like really collect stamps outside? Like, does anyone purposely collect stamps because you like them, or is it mostly for MCP points? Or not at all? That's kind of what I'm curious about. Oh wow, the ultra rare is this is hitting an all-time high? I don't feel like this is right. Up to 7.5 gems. I need that poster. Totally forgot about it. Awesome. That's exactly why I'm here. Just here to remind you guys about some like old drops that you guys completely forgot about, because I do that a lot. Sometimes I completely forget about. I'm like, dude, I completely forgot about this drop. Like, sometimes I like to do this too. Title. Let's flip this. Release date. Of course, it's going to show Todd and a lot of the season 1 stuff, but there's a lot of collectibles that are from like season 1, 2, and 3 that I like totally forgot about. That are like really good. BMO. Harley Quinn's going for 50 right now. Interesting. Her all-time low is 37. Yeah. Big pump here. She's down to 50. What's her? She got as low as 38. A lot of collectibles had their all-time lows like either late last year or early this year. So it'll be interesting to see if things hit their all-time low again. I think some things will. Like, when's the last time someone's thought about Starfire? She's a pretty popular. She's in like Teen Titans, a show I've never watched, but I know the appeal of it. Like, Starfire's a pretty cool character, and like there she is. But I'm willing to bet no one's really thought about her in a minute. Too many Harleys. Stay Puft Man. Nightwing was one that pumped somewhat recently. Yeah, he was going for 140 earlier this month and ran all the way up to 360. All right, basically doubled in price, more than doubled in price. Nightwing is another like classic VVOG one. Ultraman, of course. A lot of these Ultraman posters. Adrian says Catwoman. Yeah, that's another good one. I collect them a little bit. My dad was a stamp and coin collector, so I kind of do it for that reason. Brings me back to when I was young. Yeah, that's nice. I kind of did, not really like coin collecting, but there was like a quarter collection thing for the whole US, right? Because there's a period of time where like every state released a new quarter. So that was a lot of fun. I did that for a bit, but I didn't fall through it all the way to the end. I think I was in college by the time I like finished it. So I don't know if my dad still has it or he tossed it. I'll have to ask him about it. Dragon Girl is another big one. I remember we talked about Dragon Girl last stream, how there's a very good chance that Tokidoki is going to release another Dragon Girl-esque NFT collectible on Veve. It could be. It looked like the way it was set up that it could be a Veve collectible. Speaking of, Catwoman's not here, but Batgirl's here. Catwoman, I think, is on this next page. Yeah, Catwoman's right here. 16 gems. Like there's a lot of good FAs that are still available. I do think they can get a little bit cheaper. I do think things are going to pull back here in the next month. But even Batman Who Laughs, that's another amazing villain. How many FA blockchain fans will want Powers of X #1 SR comic and have all of the best X-Men FAs? I don't know. Like, I'm starting to, I don't know. Do you guys still believe that FA blockchain is going to be as big of a deal as it is? Like, if it's FA on Veve and blockchain, cool. But like, let's say Flash, right? Like, first appearance of Flash. A lot of people argue that it was on HRO because it uses image and it's a DC official collectible and stuff like that. But it's not like a fully physical digital premium digital collectible like Veve has. I don't know. My gut instinct is like there's gonna be some people into that, but at the same time, like I don't think people are gonna go between 10 or 15 different NFT platforms to get like the first on blockchain of like every character or like characters that they like, right? They could, but if Veve ends up being the big winner, I think most people are gonna go buy first appearance on Veve. But I could be completely wrong. Yes, with the book for quarters, did that also? Yeah, exactly. Like the big folder, right? That one was pretty fun. Slimer? When was the last time someone's thought about Slimer? Hoverboards? You guys thought about hoverboards recently? Superman? Ghost Trap? Of course, all the Spider-Man. This is where we started getting like deep into Marvel stuff. This is when Marvel was just... This is when Marvel just took over everything. Until Disney took over. You can see like all the drops are like different IPs, different stuff, different types of collectibles. And then once we get to Marvel, it's just Marvel everything. It's almost like we didn't drop anything else for months until this. Star Trek, always amazing. Kind of almost getting thrown back into history here a little bit. Kind of want to keep it with collectibles. I think we're already aware of the comics. Now that we're kind of getting into Marvel, the comics are starting to like clutter up the page, so. Ben Reilly. I will say Ben Reilly's another Spider-Man that I think some people forgot about. I think FA will matter. It depends on the medium and who is still relevant in the space. Exactly, right? A lot of first appearances on technically what's it called, Recur, but Recur is just not a platform anymore. So when we release, I don't know what first appearance, did Recur have any first appearances? I thought they had like I don't think they had Star Trek technically before us. I thought they had Hello Kitty and like maybe one or two other IPs before us or before Veve, or even if Veve is yet to have them. We'll see. All right, probably go through a few more of these and then see here. Probably gonna hop off stream here in a little bit just because I've been streaming for about an hour and a half, and I do have a lot of other stuff I need to do today. So mostly just wanted to hang out, say hi to you guys. I do want my streams to be a little bit more structured, so I think in my future streams I will have some like topics and things I want to talk about with you guys. But most of the time we're just, like the title says, we're just talking about the market and we're chilling, right? Not sure how much of the zombie stuff you guys are into, like Zombie Captain America, Zombie Hunter Spider-Man. Gosh, I remember flipping these little friends, like gorillas, quite a bit back in the day. There's quite a few collectibles I was like able to flip pretty consistently just because there was pretty big demand for it and people really liked it. Man, it's crazy to see that some of these like serial killers are going for a fraction of the amount they were before. Like Drug Kill 'Em Frog is going for 11. People were paying 50 gems for this. That's how crazy the bull market was back in the day. People just had so many gems. They were just like, yeah, 50 bucks for a drug addict frog. Like, why not? Most of you guys haven't thought about these first appearances too. Wonder Woman and Hawkgirl. Powers of X comic is on Veve, so the question is, do Veve comics qualify as FA for characters? Remember Pirates talking about that question. It's up to the community really, but I think because Veve doesn't recognize it as such, that I doubt it'll be that way, right? I think there's the first appearance in comic format. That's its own medium and its own first appearance that exists in real life. And then there's this other medium, which is like premium digital collectible with like animation and possible utility, all that stuff. I think that's like a different like medium. But we'll see. I kind of doubt it. I think that's a bit much to kind of track. Wait, for Delusionville? What do you mean? Oh, Drug Kill 'Em Frog, that one, or? Yeah, it'd be. Wait, is who made what the wait, I went back and it took me all the way back to here, man. Tucson, what's up? I think what comic the characters appeared in first is going to be the FA. I think that's just what people have settled so far. What comic the characters appeared in first is going to be the FA. That's what I think people have settled. Yeah, exactly. I think there's going to be FAs for comics and there's going to be FAs for, I think, just generically non-comics. And however Veve labels them, right? I'm trying to think of a comic that came out and then the collectible came out later. I mean, look at Blade, right? Like Blade came out after the comic technically, so is Blade not FA because we got a Blade comic? I don't believe that personally. I think they should keep them separate. It's totally fine if there's an FA of the comic and like the FA of the collectible is separate. And if you're a true collector, you just get both, right? Wait, is the floor for Tomb of Dracula almost at 10 now? Let me see here. When we looked earlier, it was at 8. I guess so. It's kind of getting to that point and starting to creep up just a little bit. I did think 7-8 gems was like a little too cheap for a first appearance Blade. Like Hulk #1 is the FA. Hulk #1? Oh, like the comic? Talking about Incredible Hulk? Or like Immortal Hulk? We have a lot of #1 Hulks. It's hard to say. I think first appearance is first appearance, regardless. That's like saying, I don't know. I don't know. That's like saying. Let's see. Oh my god, there's so many of these. Made a mistake. Star Wars came out first, then Vader. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think it's. That's like saying this is the first appearance of Spider-Man. Because it was released on Veve first. You know, it's his first series, but it's not his first appearance. So I don't think the community is going to latch onto the idea like, well, this was the first Spider-Man comic, or this is the first comic with Spider-Man on it, so this is the first appearance. It's Amazing Fantasy. Even though it did come out like almost a year later, or like a year and whatever later for Amazing Fantasy 15, like this is still going to be first appearance, and the price shows it. Not the Immortal Hulk, the real FA. Okay, gotcha. Which Hulk? One from 1962? Yeah, 15, of course. Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. I mean, you could think however you want, but it's not up to me or you. It's up to the community at large, right? To put value on stuff. And so far, this is the first appearance. That's not why I'm not totally bought into the idea of like, well, Flash's first appearance on You know, like HRO because he's on a card and all that stuff. I mean, that technically, yes, like blockchain wise, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how everything pans out. If Veve is going to be the ultimate winner, in my opinion, I think people are going to go FA based off of Veve and not off of a small niche platform that is either closed or doesn't exist anymore, or whatever it is, in order to like get the first on blockchain, right? Because I'm trying to think, what's the first? Yeah, like the first MP3 player ever. There's multiple MP3 players that came out before like the iPod, right? Those were all the first, but at the end of the day, Apple was the winner. Apple was the platform that everyone liked and appreciated. Like, I don't know. I would imagine there's more people trying to buy iPod 1s, right? As like an Apple collector or whatever it is, versus trying to buy an F10 player. South Korea. It was like invented in South Korea. I don't know, something like that. So I don't know. Like it's one of those things. That's kind of like the analogy I'll use. It's like, yeah, other platforms may have came out with like an image or the first officially licensed thing with like this character's image or a card or whatever it is. But it's like, if Veve's going to be the big winner of everything, people are just going to go based off that just for simplicity's sake, right? People aren't going to want to dig through, you know, like metadata and looking at like 15, 20 other platforms to see, all right, well, this one has, you know, Spawn, but Spawn was on this other platform. So if we buy that, and then I'm like, there could be people that do that, but I think your average person won't. Hey, I have 24 of those cards. Stop fudding. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe because I haven't interacted with HRO at all in the last like year and a half, 2 years. I have nothing against the platform. There is some value to those flash cards. I actually really like the flash cards in general. But that's just my take. I did ask Sleep in the FA question as well, and he agrees with you. Yeah, that's my people want it simplified. So that's one thing I like about comics, is that it's all figured out. You know, other than some of the speculative stuff that's a bit newer, but it's all figured out. You know, now it's just like getting the collectors on the platform and bought into the idea of digital comics and all that stuff. It's like, we already know AF-15's up here, Marvel Comics #1, Fantastic Four #1, and #5, and this, and then you just go down the list. It's like, all right, we already got it figured out. Of course, mint numbers play a role, right? There's some comics that are higher than others because of just raw mint numbers, but it's kind of all figured out. That's actually one thing I do kind of like about Veve's, that there's a little bit more nuance. You know, in real life, Marvel Comics #1 is like one of the most scarce comics literally ever, but on Veve it's one of the most common because there's 60,000 of them. So it's not, you know, your everyday comic book collector is going to want one, but there's so many of them. People are like, all right, do I buy Marvel Comics #1? Do I buy my 10th one, or do I buy a giant size X-Men? Right? Because Jason Pina, what's up, dude? 2000. If you're a new user, do to buy Captain Mighty of Cap full. Dude, I'm having an aneurysm trying to read your comment. I'm sorry. If you're a new user, I think what you mean, do you buy Captain America Mighty full animation beauty with comics FA's yeah, comics FA's FA, and arguably with like Captain America? I know you're probably typing on your phone or whatever and you're not trying to mess me up, so I'm just giving you a hard time, Jason. Let's see. I see what you mean. Like all these Captain Americas down here, like this one, right? Like this is the animated one. I mean, this also costs $500. What's like a cheaper one? Because this is technically the FA of Captain America, but is this like the most appealing one? Not really. There's other ones, right? And I think that's why Veve does a very good balance of like, here's the FA, and I think it's just early days of Veve, right? They didn't know that, you know, it was going to be this big of a deal for everything. From what I've heard with like Captain America, like this Steve Rogers was like technically the first FA, because I think this was FA, and they also listed these ones down here as first appearance as well. And then I think it was the community that was like, no, we already have Steve Rogers, he's already on the platform. They're like, oh yeah, you're right, let's just take it away and then add it to here. Yeah, it was crazy back then. Like this one's animated too. This one's like $100. So yeah, with comics, it's irrefutable, which is FA, what's sought after. Same thing with collectibles, but it's like you kind of need to look for like the FE tag or the FA tag. I think that's what you mean. But it's okay to buy this Captain America, right? Like if you want the animation or one that looks more realistic rather than like a cartoony version, totally do it. I kind of like that there's the option to buy this or that, right? Like I do think we need more options for collectibles. You know, like Deadpool's a good one because there's so many variations. Thor, there's a lot of variations. But if we talk about like Blade, if you like Blade, there's only one version and that's it. There's not other versions or other stances and stuff you can put them in. You can get them for under $1. Better hurry up. Yeah, better grab them all while before they go away. Butcher, that's all right. No worries, dude. I'm just messing with you. So yeah, that's my take, and I think that Veve's done a pretty good job of like making it clear, like what's FA, what's not. Before it was a nightmare, but it's gotten much better now. Or the CE tag, right? The con exclusive ones, like Peggy. Did they make Peggy Carter? I'll just put Carter. Captain Carter. I guess I don't put Peggy. Like Captain Carter. Did they change her? Oh, they changed her to first appearance. I remember she was a CE. Now she's a first appearance. Where? I think this will do it. Let's go here. Edition CE. Con exclusives. There's actually quite a few. There's Iron Man. There's self-made. A lot of it is, you know, San Diego or let me think. Comic Cons or decons. Most of these look like they're decons. We occasionally have like the Tesseract or some other ones. So yeah, con exclusives. I don't know. Could that be like a sleeper tag that a lot of people just aren't thinking about, like con exclusives? What do you guys think? We know about FEs. I think FEs are another big one, especially if it's tied to actual characters. Floor price. Let's see. So these are like the FEs. Like the Steve Pugh Harley Quinn. That's still FE apparently. Is that a thing? Yeah, Steve Pugh, Harley Quinn, Rizzo. All these Harley Quinns. They're still FE, huh? Wait, this says Mickey Sorcerer's Hat is FE. Oh, I forgot it was supposed to be. I remember. It was FA, then it switched to FE. I don't know. The Daredevil #1 UR cover is one of the only that says New York Comic Con exclusive. Interesting. Let me see here. Comics. Daredevil #1. So this one? Ultra rare? Oh, you're right. 2021 New York Comic Con exclusive. First appearance of Daredevil. Does it say for all of them or just for the ultra rare? Let me look in here. There. If I can spell. Let me look at the common. Actually got quite a few Daredevils. Does this also say it? Okay, so yeah, it says it for the commons too. But that is really cool. That's the Comic-Con exclusive. I think Self-Made is a huge sleeper long term. Yeah, I think that one's great. It's just a little pricey, and I think a lot of whales like it because the message. A lot of other people own it, obviously, because of the name, stuff like that. I know Sleeping Comics like bought one a little while ago, and he was like, yeah, I love it. It just kind of like spoke to me. Self-Made, I think it was with a 3. Yeah, there it is, Self-Made. Yeah, this thing is over 1,000 gems right now. Was going for 700, but it's just a little too much for me. Awesome looking collectible, and it's like a great message, right? But just a little bit too much for me. I remember going for this on drop, and I just could not land it. There was so few of them. Yeah, there's only 250. Less than that because Veve holds back a certain amount. Right. Fantastic Four 13 cover is a con exclusive also. Huh. You guys got me thinking about some of these things, because I will say, like, these are little things that people will care about in the future. These little Comic-Con exclusive, these things, like, people do like that kind of description. Now Veve could always change it. They could always just change the description. That's kind of the catch-22 about digital collectibles, or just digital anything, is it's not physical, it's not locked in, it's not like this forever. If Veve really needed to, or if Marvel says, hey, we actually need to change this, they might have to. Hopefully not, but what was it? Con exclusive fiche. People will care about the fiche stuff. I do have quite a few fiche. I do actually do like the, let me just look that up really quick. Not fesh. Fiche. What's the cheap one? The common fabrics. Yeah, these are some cool looking ones. I really like how they look at air. It's like a fly, it's like a swimming fish. I do like that a lot. And that's also, you know, made by, you know, a community member. So I really want one of these fish tanks. Sorry, fish tanks. I think the one that's the most coveted is this one. The House of Dance featuring DJ Octo. This one looks really cool. And then Fantastic Four 13. Yeah, I do like that one a lot. Fantastic Four 13. Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, this one's classic. This is the first one. I figured this was the one. The Moon, Fantastic Four meet. Is this mentioned? It doesn't really mention that it was a Comic-Con or like a con exclusive. At least I don't think so. DJ Octo is the GOAT. True. They are the best. Goofy lenticular. Someone's trying to pump their bags. Someone is. Yeah, I haven't looked at that guy in a while. What's he doing? Not goody. Goofy. You know what people would go hard on is just first appearances of like actual collectibles, right? Of Goofy and some of the other ones. Pluto. We already have Donald and Daisy, right? But if we start getting some of the other characters, I think those could do decently well, assuming the mint numbers make sense. Goofy's been pumping. I got some Goofies for like 75, 85. Yeah, let's look at the actual like movement. Keep putting goody. Goofy. He is the secret rare. Let's look at the last 3 months. Oh yeah, he was at 65. Now he's at, wow. Yeah, he's definitely moving. Up to 120 essentially. Was at 70. Maybe even lower, 65. Yeah, from a month ago today, he's almost doubled in price. Just shy of it. I do like the lenticulars. Actually, I might need to go back around. I don't know if I'm spelling lenticular wrong or it's just not showing up. Yeah, I do like the lenticulars. If I type it in here. Put in lent. Yeah, it's not going to show up if I just type in the lenticulars. What if I do friends? I think it's called... There it is. Okay. Mickey and Friends, that's what it's called. What if I put an S? Friends. All right, whatever. Yeah, Minnie's going for 13. Mickey's going for 12. Donald is 20. Pluto is 75. Daisy's 15, 16. Or sorry, 16, 17. And then Goofy's going for like 120. I still really like the lenticular cards. It's probably one of the most like interactive. It has like the lenticular look, like it, you know, goes between the room and like the character, has the gold trim, has the signature, has the music. Like it's actually really, really immersive. It's probably one of like the better collectibles interactive wise that like you can see here and like everything. I do like the lenticulars a lot. I might have to go back around and grab a couple of those. Most regrettable collectibles in the bull market. Soy milk. Pull it up. Horrible. Most regrettable collectibles in the bull market. Soy milk. I don't know what that is. Are you trolling me? I feel like... Oh, soy milk? This one? I didn't even know that that's what this thing was. Soy milk? $14. Doesn't look that crazy. Let me go back a bit. Let me try this one. Whoop. Type in milk. Most regrettable collectibles in the bull market. Go back as far as possible. It's not that crazy. I mean, from the charts from what I could see here, it's like peaked at 45. It's gone all the way down to 15. It's a really interesting looking collectible, I'll say that. Told you, not just pumping my bags. I don't really sell much, yeah. All right, vibes, I have to run. Going to play basketball with my daughter. She's pulling my leg right now. Nice, dude. Well, hope she plays well. Stay safe. Yeah, I haven't played basketball in a long time. I did like playing basketball. Obviously, football was my thing. Wasn't great at baseball. I was good at pitching, but everything else was all right. Banshee pumping. Warrich? I don't know who these people are. Type in Banshee. Oh, this is from Avatar. Yeah, he pumped up to like 140 at one point. Pulled back to 70. I'll look it up here really quick. Yeah, after I do the search, I'm gonna hop off because got other stuff to do today, and I'm already been streaming for almost 2 hours. So always enjoy hanging out with you guys. Yeah, it's gone up quite a bit. The floors are just absurdly thin. I don't even know how many are in circulation on this one. Remaining edition, almost exactly half. So it's like 350 total editions, 350. So I think there's probably like 300 in circulation because Veve withholds a certain amount. It is a cool looking collectible, but for that much, not for me personally. But cool. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for stopping by. Hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll probably end up doing a stream tomorrow. I'm just hanging out with you guys again. Talk about whatever. So I'll catch you guys next time. Be safe. Don't forget to double and triple check all of your listings so you don't screw yourself over. Hope you guys take care.